let's see what we got going on here. It says on air.
All right, good deal.
Do you see us?
No, but usually when that thing says we're live, it's usually pretty correct.
All right, guys. If anybody watching us, please let us know in the comments if the sound is okay and if the video is all right, because we made some changes in the settings and we're not sure how that goes. Let's see where we at.
Yeah, I don't see it yet, but I'll go ahead and at least do the introduction. What's going on, Super Truckers? Thanks for tuning into the Super Trucker Podcast every Thursday. Almost said Tuesday. Every Thursday at 2 p.m. Losing track of what day it is. We've got a lot going on. Yep, there we are. Now I see us. So give everybody a chance to get in the room. Where's Schmedium? He'll be here in a second. He's taking care of a few things. How's it going? All right, Young Peasy says, yep, they can hear us. Sounds still good. Okay, good. We just changed some things on the camera, so we weren't sure how it was going to affect it. So got OG here, Mike, and Michael, of course. We're going to have Christian joining us soon. But a lot going on out there, guys. What's up, Matt? Hope you and Sarah are doing good. Up here at home, down on the block. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, hope you're doing well, man. I guess we have quite a few things to talk about. A lot of things going on. Obviously, things change daily right now. So we're just holding on for the ride, staying focused, staying positive, and doing what we got to do to get things done.
Yeah, so maybe let's start with a concern that a lot of drivers have these days. Roadside breakdowns during the shutdown. How difficult is it? Is it a big challenge? Are you getting stranded on the road for a month until May 1st, or things are still doable?
That's a lot of questions we're getting. If I get out there, if something happens to my unit, am I stranded? Are the shops still open? Are they working? And in our experience, I can say we have had some breakdowns, regardless if it's been tractor or trailer. And most all the shops, I was saying the other day that some of them are actually responding a little bit faster, because there are some guys that are not on the road right now, and that's kind of increasing the speed that things are getting done. So I've had really no issues getting things repaired. Everybody's been in a timely manner, regardless if it was roadside service. That's the one I think I've noticed the most being the fastest. A phone call is made, and generally you're like, hey man, what's the word? The guy says another 45 minutes, and then roadside service, that means another 3 hours. But like literally in the few times that we've had to have someone come out for a trailer issue or a truck issue, it's been like, 45 minutes has been 45 minutes, really.
Well, I guess it does affect everybody. So, the shops, if we're getting not as busy as we used to be, the shops are the same way. The only challenge that I came across, I think we kind of overpaid for tires a few times.
Yeah.
But that's not very common, but it happened. But again, nobody says it could not happen during normal times.
No, again, I think probably that had a lot to do with the situation, and probably could have been handled a little bit better. But you get yourself in a pickle. That's what's up. Matt says that he's found that all shops are open, and we know he runs right out to California. So, I haven't experienced that. That's one thing I've not experienced so far. I'm not saying that someone hasn't. Maybe if you have and you want to leave in the comments for anybody that may watch this later, like, hey, this is a couple I ran into the areas that didn't have some type of availability for maintenance. Let them know. That's what this is all about, is helping one another and communicating, because we can only share with you our experiences so far on the maintenance side and shops being open. Business as usual. Even our local shop around here is still, up and running, taking care of things.
The only other negative that I can throw into this is actually the unanimous sources that I have in Atlanta, Georgia, said that we have 3 trailers in the shop and we cannot fix it because the parts are not going to arrive until the shutdown is over, I guess.
Yes. Now that you bring that up, I've had one instance where that's happened, a delay in getting a part for somebody, but they were kind of at home already, so it didn't create too much of a dilemma. But yes, that was one thing when they had to order out the part. It seemed to be a little bit of delay getting it in, and that's understandable with everything going on. Because, like I said, even for all of us at a personal use, I mean, you have Amazon Prime, and they say 2 days on everything. I've even gotten emails when I've ordered stuff, and they say, sorry, that's not going to fall within the Prime, even though it was listed. It's actually going to be 5 days, 7 days, maybe even 10 days to get that product to you, just because of the COVID-19 issues. So
the things to consider in terms of breakdowns and maintenance, especially during times like this. The maintenance is the key. A lot of stuff can be prevented. If you have some iffy tire on your trailer or tractor, and you're still hauling ass and just trying to make the penny without talking to other people and solving the problem, that can put you in a bad situation, especially these days, because you never know. Let's say the shops are open, but what about if your equipment has a problem and now that equipment needs to be in the shop for a week? Are the hotels open? Are the restaurants open? And that's not very pleasant situation to be stranded on the road with. I'm not aware of any situations here in-house that somebody got stranded in a really bad situation. But if you guys, anybody who's watching this video now or later, let us know in the comments below, how did it go for you if you were one of those drivers who got into this.
Yeah, I mean, because again, that's what we're using this form as a message board to spread the word, good or bad. So, we're obviously in the same times that everybody else is, and we're all in the same boat. We're experiencing it. We know there's no secret. There's no hiding it. So it's how can we help to adapt in these situations. Matt says, want to go out to lunch? Yeah, sure, Matt. If you find a place that'll let us sit down and go to lunch, I'm all for it. But right now it's been like takeout only anywhere. So
bring some fresh meat. We got a grill in the back.
Yeah. We decided to get a grill. We threw some sausage, some hot dogs, something on there because that's also that's the same problem for everybody right now. Or if you can find sometimes meat to throw on the grill, that can be a challenge too sometimes, but
it's still there.
Yeah.
It's still there.
Yeah, it's getting better. It's getting better. So.
And the roadkill should not be a problem for the truck drivers.
Not here, not in Central Florida. We can find it. If not, we can make it.
All right. So, what do you think about freight availability?
Oh well, it's funny you asked that because somebody just posted a question. I won't mention any names,
okay.
But somebody said, "Do I dare ask about load volumes and rates?" And our contracted freight's down. So that's two different questions. So as far as the contracted stuff, I've got a feeling that yes, a lot of the reason we're seeing the issues in the market is not so much that the freight is down, is that we've got a lot of other players in the game. So when all those contracted freight gets pushed out because of the way the rates are, they're able to move right in. We have somebody knocking at the door. Is that Santa Claus or Mr. Rogers? Hey, I found Schmedium for you.
What's going on, my people? Sorry I'm late.
Yeah, well, I'll need you to sign this when you're done.
Sorry I'm late. Had a pretty good interview with a potential owner-operator, so good stuff. So
awesome.
They're out there looking.
All right, well, we're answering the question of do I dare to ask about the load volume and rates and our contracted freight rate down. So again, I was saying it seems like a lot of people are coming into that spot market that aren't normally there, just because a lot of the normal retail goods are not moving, that are not essential. So when they come in, they've got these company trucks they've got to keep moving. They're rolling with those. And then it is what it is. Everybody's going to try to take advantage of the situation when they can, no different than we are when it's in our favor. It's been in our favor for the first 3 months. The ball's in their court right now, but that doesn't stop us. We just have to continue moving forward, and the loads are there. You just have to be a little more creative and a little more ahead of the game. That's key. Right now, it's all as far ahead as you can get. Get it while the getting's good. Don't be picky and looking down low and saying, where's my $2.50 a mile? It's probably not going to happen right now. Not in drive-in, not where you're at, not in reefer. I've heard stories of people hauling reefer freight for $1 a mile. So it's a matter of just getting out there and getting what you can. So
and I just came in, so I don't know. I got a question. Maybe
yes, sir. What's up?
I mean, well, on that, Mike, what do you think? Preloading as far out as you can is a better option.
I've been preaching that for the last week and a half.
Preach, brother, preach.
Me and Mike just talked about it when we were looking at some stuff, and I was like, hey, we were talking about putting a list together. I'm like, half the stuff on this list I've been preaching for a week and a half, so it's good to have some validation. But yes, I've been telling everybody as much as you can, because in the instances, look, loads are going to cancel. That's going to create an issue no matter what. So as you're booking Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, one cancel, I know it creates a snowball, creates a problem, and now you may be sitting in that area looking for a load, and it may be difficult that day. But we cannot be afraid of that risk and not get ahead. So go ahead and take the risk. Pre-book 2 days out, 3 days out, as much as you can. That's my opinion. Again, these are all just opinions of what I see every day from our side.
I think now is the most important thing is the consistency and staying in the game. This is not the time to make the most per mile. This is the time to make it as smooth, as pre-planned, and as back-to-back as possible. And tomorrow is going to be a better day.
Yeah, to try to put yourself in a box and say, I already know what this is going to do. I already know what it's going to be like. Man, right now, just take everything you know and just throw it out the window, because to know what one area is going to be, my God, I was watching one of the web things where they talk about the increase in freight. And guess what one of the hottest markets on the whole freaking thing was?
Florida.
Lakeland.
What's up?
Lakeland.
We did it, boys. We did the impossible.
Lakeland was one of the increased markets, and I was like, man, something's crazy when Lakeland's making news like that. So again, it's so much that they had the volume.
Is that in Polk County or?
Polk County. It's Lakeland's in Polk County.
No, I know,
Florida,
but is that like best in Polk County or that's national?
Oh, it was the whole map. Yeah, yeah. It's green. I'm not saying it was the best. I'm just saying it was one of the ones that was green. And when you look at the rate view on DAT and everything's white, and here was Florida kind of glowing a little bit. I'm like, man, this stuff just got turned upside down, baby.
Yeah,
so who wants to come to Florida? So, hey, there's our rates. I was just wondering what the heck happened to our rates. Utah is requiring drivers to fill out a CO COVID-19 questionnaires. You're getting more and more things, requirements coming in. Some are going to be state government, federal government says it, and then the state governments are going above and beyond. We just talked to somebody who said, hey, they were in another city in Texas, and they got out of their vehicle and went into a store, and they weren't even allowed to go in because they didn't have a mask. So masks in Laredo, we talked about that last week, being mandatory, up to a $1,000 fine. Other cities are doing such things. So, yeah, you got to really research that as you're traveling. Work closely with your company to stay on top of all of the changes that may be happening for a specific state or a specific area.
And be patient, because, things are changing by the hour in some cases. And it's all government level, at the local level.
Besides being patient, also be very critical. Because I'm not sure if any of you guys watched that YouTube video with a nurse crying, I guess she got infected by COVID-19 or having to work without masks or some crap like that.
Yeah.
Turns out freaking fake video, man. There's a lot of fake information out there.
Are you saying there's fake news?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
You mean when they watch CNN? Is that
No, all across the board.
Turn on the TV. There you go.
You turn on the TV, you got fake news, man.
There you go. So one of the questions was, we were talking about before we got down into the rates side of things, was just, we talked about maintenance already, talked about the different things like that. We covered that, and food. We talked about that last week. We've made a couple videos. We actually highlighted a couple of the restaurants right here in Central Florida, right in the Lakeland area, that are supporting the truckers and making ways for them to be able to get food. And so we're going to continue to do that when we hear of a place, or if you know of a place, we'll definitely put it up out on our YouTube page and our Facebook page to give them a shout out and say thank you for taking care of you guys while you're out on the road. And then again, always in these videos, if you know of some specific restaurants that are catering to the needs of guys driving the big rigs, please write them down so that other guys can see them, and what little bit we can help. We're trying to help get the word out for that.
I wonder if when this is all over, they're still gonna love us, like those restaurants.
Hell no. It's gonna be get the hell out of my
So enjoy
property,
it while
man.
it lasts.
So yeah, this is one of the challenges of our industry. We only we are expendables or deplorables or however you freaking call
Just
it.
pick one anymore.
Yeah. You just we use the drivers as we need them, and then we kind of just fuck them, and that's how it's been forever. Is it fair? No, but hey.
There went our YouTube violation number 1.
What? What do you mean? No, this is not made for kids.
Oh,
man.
okay. All right. I'm like, I don't want to get censored here, and like next thing we're blocked in 5 countries.
No, this is not made for kids, and this is not made for other countries.
Okay, sweet. All right. So what's next on the list to talk about?
Well, we can make a really nice transition from, freight availability changes. There is a lot of people that right now are home waiting for big fat government check.
That's going to be here real soon, right?
Yeah, most of them already got it, according to the news.
Yeah.
But
my wallet, man. Look at that thing.
I'm just gonna, I guess, touch base on this because this is more of my topic. I've been in and out of this and kind of working on a few projects. Here's what I gotta say. I think what's guaranteed is if you can stay on the road making something instead of nothing, that's what's guaranteed. That's what's coming. That's what you're gonna get. If you're gonna start sitting and waiting for that big fat government check, the chances are it's never gonna make to you. However, the last podcast we posted a link to the SBA small business loan form. Fill it out. I personally know some people who already received at least a verbal approval of the whatever funds we can get. Having and not needing to use it, remember, it's a loan that can turn in the grant, but just think about it as a loan. It's better to have it and not use it than need it and not have it. So I'm gonna repost the link in the description after this podcast is over. Fill it out. Takes 5 minutes. Not gonna hurt you. And other than that, just don't fall into this line of waiting people, because if you calculate how many businesses are out there and how much funds are being thrown into these programs, it's not enough.
Mathematically possible.
So it just do it at your own risk, but generally speaking, you can only guarantee what you can guarantee yourself and what you can make.
Maybe we ask too, as anybody that's watching the video live right now, has anybody started that process? Can you share that with anybody, how that's going? Did you find it difficult? Was it non-existent? Did you get shut down right away? I've seen, I was sharing with Christian earlier, I saw some reports where some people are just getting cut off right at the beginning, and other guys were going through and actually getting some success with it. And one of the guys attested that it was kind of his never give up attitude. He said he received several no's at a couple. I mean, this is maybe a little bit different, but it was a couple of the banks that he went to that was supposedly set up to handle that loan. They were not releasing any type of funds because they hadn't got the reassurance that they needed through the government, I guess. So they were like telling no. But then there were other ones that were like, hey, come on in, we're processing 100 to 150 a day instead of 100 a month like we normally do. So his persistence got him through, and they were just recommending that whoever's partaking in it to not give up, because you may get several no's. Even though you think, I've banked with these people for 20 years, it didn't matter. They were telling people no. It didn't matter if it was where your personal account was, where your business account was. The answer was still no, but there are options. So he said, don't give up.
Here's what I gotta say from the people that I spoke to, that are actually working on those projects like every day. This is what we do for a living. A couple of things. Most of the banks are putting aside all the conventional loans, and we are working only on the SBA loans.
Oh, okay.
So that's a good news. Another thing that you as an owner-operator or business owner can do, anything that costs you money, call them, talk to them. Call the company that financed your truck. See if we can give you a little bit of breakdown of,
like a deferment or something?
Deferment for a payment. Reach out to your house lender. Don't be stupid, though. Don't fall into the trap. Read between the lines. Read the small script. Anybody who you own some money to, just give them a call. See what's up. Some people will be more than willing to help. Others will reach out later on to you. So it's possible. Just use all the avenues out there, and something may come back to you. Another thing is, I wouldn't probably even go to the bank, even though I've got some recommendations that technically should be most effective. But I think the lines are just so crazy big that you are way better off going online, filling it out, and you already in the line than
Right.
just waiting for that appointment and talking to that person. By the way, the form for owner operator is extremely easy. If you click that link, just go there. Your gross revenues for January 31st of 19 through January 31st of 2020. That's your gross figure. And then the goods sold, you have no goods sold. So just put 0 there. And everything else is pretty much just your personal information. 2 pages of that stuff, and you're done.
All right, so I want to catch up with this real quick, because we're getting too far past. Matt said that they were not able to fill out the form with a Gmail account, so anybody that may be the same for you too, I'm not sure. Also, someone was asking, is it a good time to open your own authority? Edwin was.
Yeah, that's the best time ever. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No.
Somebody says they need fuel stamps.
Yeah.
Matt said, any fuel stamps?
Just leave an IOU, you'll be all right.
Can we get a fuel deferment?
Fuel deferment. Yeah.
Scott says application was easy, submitted mine on Monday. Okay, so
Yeah.
so it looks like the process is there. Maybe they weren't accepting a certain account there. I'm not sure with the Gmail
but it's just
account,
like, guys, don't just
Yeah.
bank on that. I mean, just remember, I
Yeah,
believe
because
that program's like
your
first come,
chances
first
to
serve.
actually get it, I would say 50-50. But once you get it, make sure you have a paper trail what you used it for. So, for example, if you used it for a truck payment, if you used it for fuel, if you used it as a salary to pay yourself as a W-2, though I'm not sure how many of you guys are actually doing that as an owner operators. If you can prove that you use those money for what I just mentioned and potentially other stuff that your business related, eventually it's gonna turn into grant. So
yes,
that's
If you- a certain
that's
percentage
a
of it is
goal.
used on-
If
yeah,
if you're just gonna buy a whole bunch of
You're just
cheeseburgers,
increasing your debt. Yeah.
you're just increasing your debt.
Yeah.
And trust me, it doesn't matter when is this going to be over. At some point there is going to be still a hole. So if you think now is bad, think again. I think there is going to be a little bit worse before it's going to get any better.
Mr. Jeremy says I just need some good luck. I hear you, Mr. Jeremy. Yeah, that's all of us, and we're definitely hoping for the best for you guys in that situation. I guess I could say, and I know what he's talking about. Man, sometimes when it rains, it pours. So guys are getting more, not saying you, Jeremy, in your situation, just as a whole from what I'm seeing, stress is moving in on all sides. And when the rates are not what they want it to be, and when the freight's not where you want it to be, and man, just be careful out there, guys, because the littlest thing is becoming magnified. I always use this old saying, if you ever took a magnifying glass and look at an ant, it's a pretty scary creature. But when you take the magnifying glass away, it's just an ant. The problem is no bigger today than it was, the problem when it was in the good times. It's just how we view it. So, guys, try to stay positive out there, however that is for you. If it's, just taking a moment before you make that phone call. I say the same thing to everybody in here. Look, I see us getting a little stressed over things. I'm like, guys, that last week that wouldn't have stressed you out. Why is it such a big deal now? So just try to stay focused, stay positive. I know it's not easy. So, we all need that luck right now.
Yeah, and even on that note, but also look at your blessings. I mean, we're starting to feel a bigger pinch. Like now, I would say. I mean, but there's people in the restaurant business that have been out of work for a month, unable to earn.
Yeah.
So as long as we can keep this mindset, and it'd be a lot different if somebody came in and put the padlock on it and said, "Hey, nobody runs." Then at that point, when we don't have a choice, that's when it's a dark day.
And I mean, to tell you, I've done my best. It's obviously cheaper for me to eat at home. I've tried so hard for some of the local places just in my area, the restaurants that are still doing curbside, like the small mom and pops that I know, are not a part of that. But you can't. I mean, I've already saw some of them close their doors, you know what I mean, and just say, sorry, we may reopen, we may not, and that's hard, man, because like there's.
But Mike's determined. He don't miss a meal. Just
Yeah.
I mean, I can only keep so many people in business, guys. I mean, that's a lot of.
You set
I
yourself
saw
up for
you
that.
smile, and I was like,
That's a lot of local economy right there.
I'm sitting there telling him this story now, like he's grinning. I can see him grinning. Like, what's funny right now? Like here I'm innocent, and he's just waiting for his moment to strike. So my brother
And he's not alone.
No, we're all contributing.
Matt says that his brother delivered to Publix the other day, and they're taking everything as open appointments. Sorry. So yeah, I mean, we've noticed that too. We had some instances where some guys were making some deliveries at some places, and they were held up by the shipper. And I'm like, it's late at night, 9 o'clock at night, and I'm on the phone with one of the dispatchers, and I'm like, where's the load going? I need to see what we're gonna do. I mean, do we stay on this load? Do we come off? And they're like, yeah, it's going to U.S. Foods, and I'm like, or Cisco or something. Like, normally I don't ever want to miss an appointment, and I'm like, oh man, you know what I mean? I'm like, and you got to make that executive decision, and we've decided to stay on the load. And not all, but a lot of them where that situation has arrived, they've really been accommodating and taking us. We had a guy, even today, who had an 8 o'clock appointment last night. It's a nighttime receiver. They do their shipping in the daytime. We weren't able to make that appointment, so we got there this morning, and they said see you at 8 o'clock, and the guy was empty at 12:30 today.
Oh wow!
So we just stayed diligent. We were there. We're like, hey man, we understand, but if you can, anything you can do at all would help us, And so again, not a great win, but it's just because the gyms are closed right now. Is what Charlene said. That's right. That's why I'm helping support the other one. Otherwise, I'd be chicken wing, chicken wing, chicken wing. So. But no, you got to, and any opportunity you can to help support some of those businesses. I mean, I know we make lighthearted of it, but yeah, I think anything you can do. And again, as we've always said, guys, anybody watching this that's not a truck driver, if you get a chance to help a trucker out, you see them in the need, you can run through a drive-through for them, you can pick them something up, you can take them to a Walmart or something like that. Please offer to do so. I'm not asking you to put yourself in any kind of safety risk if it's somebody you don't know, but
just don't get kidnapped.
Yeah, I'm like, Mike said pick that guy up. Nah, just go through the drive-through for them if you can. If you see somebody in that situation, please help them because they are out there doing a great job. There's a lot of talk. You were talking about these government things. There's a lot of talk. Everybody is putting their eggs in the one basket of, hey, now they're going to do this hero check and all this kind of stuff for $25,000. And none of this stuff is approved. None of this stuff is in our hands. And even the little stimulus they're sending out to the people that I know of, no one's even gotten that yet. So, man, the only for sure thing is what you can do out there right now on the road. You know what I mean?
I don't know anybody who received anything yet. It's all has been really just talk, and even some other programs that I was looking into, just like protect people here, all that stuff that just go home and we're gonna fund the people, and like the employers will be able to keep the employees and pay them even though we are at home. Good luck with that. It technically it was supposed to be like 1 day project.
No, yeah,
and it turned out in like whatever if anything happens.
And it's not that the government is sitting on a pile of cash either, right?
No,
so this money's got to come.
We are borrowing against ourselves.
Yeah, the best thing that can happen is this goes away and everybody's back to work, and when none of that is exercised, because all that money has got to get paid back in decades to come. You know what
taxes,
I mean?
Tax money.
And we're just it's going to be deficit.
And
for
at the same time, I think the best plan for right now is to keep rolling, not to stop, because stopping for what? Just to wait for worse days? Why?
So Scott says he got his already. So hey, well Scott, you're the first one we know. So congratulations, buddy. You know our address here. You can spot me like $50. I gotta,
You gotta eat.
Yeah, I'm supporting the local economy. But he sent something here. Just a point of view from somebody else. It says grocery stores have operating costs that they pay every month. Part of what's happening now is these stores are limiting how much product is being brought in. They do not want people stockpiling food and essential items because they won't have any sales once the virus drama ends. Yes, there are brokers that are opportunistic, suppressing rates. However, the majority of this simply is supply and demand. It's just somebody else's point of view.
I think it's really majority of of this thing is supply and demand, because if some broker is suppressing freight, let me tell you, in this market when the freight is kind of limited, and it's gonna get a little bit more limited because before it gets unlimited again. Let's just say the C.H. Robinson ships, loads $1.50 per mile for this customer, and now he only pays the carrier $1 per mile. That's a suppressed rate, right? But now, what stops Coyote Logistics to jump in and tell the shipper, hey, I can do it for $140?
No, and that's
And
what's
then
happening.
$130.
Yes.
And then $120.
So I actually had a long conversation for the last 2 days with some people at CH, and I saw some screenshots of some things behind the scenes, and that's one of the things that they're facing is that they're a business, so they're going to do what they've got to do. But they're showing screenshots of where a lane normally would pay $1,000 to $1,100, and you have carriers coming in that are at $765 on the lane, and it's like, what do you want them to do? I need 11. They got to show up for $765. They can't justify the difference. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's really, again, we always drivers want to fuss and fuss and fuss, but it's other companies that are creating this too. It's not just the brokers. It's the other companies that are outbidding. So when you're trying to still do a decent rate, okay, I can't get 1,000 on it. I would have taken the lane for 900. Okay, I get it. I understand. Rates are different. They're going to use everything. Oh, the fuel, blah 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 blah. I understand. Okay, 900. Let's be fair. 765. When you're coming to Florida for $1 a mile, that's like that's. But somebody's doing it. This isn't BS. Somebody's hauling this freight. It's not so much that there's just not enough freight. They're getting it done. It's going.
Let me tell you something. The good times we come and go. The bad times we come and go. I can use one example that some years ago, when the fuel was at about $3 something per mile,
$4 a gallon.
Per gallon.
Yeah, sometimes.
I was running for a company at $1.20 per mile.
Yeah.
Very consistently, and making money. So, and I do realize even back then that was a challenge for me, because coming out of the spot market into this, it seems like it's a very, very low figure. But if you can still do it, if you can make it consistent and go out there and put those miles in, I was making money. Way in the back, when the fuel was about, I don't know, 2 something per gallon, I was running to California at I think 86 cents loaded and 84 cents empty, and I was making about $2,500 a week. Obviously, it was different times, so I had to do one California per week out of Chicago. But again, it's possible. Sometimes you can make more taking advantage of the last minute freight and make money that way. And sometimes you can make money through consistency. You just have to pick and choose your battles.
So Matt says America takes vacation and China will pay for it. Only if that was true. Only if that was true, my friend. Sarah says, if this is my vacation, I want a refund. Amen, Sarah. Yeah, for sure.
Yes, I agree with Sarah.
Yeah. So Scott said all the stuff you're talking right there must be pre-ELD.
Yes.
He said no comment. He said no comment.
He pleads the fifth.
He's like, I don't know what you're talking about. What do you mean?
Not recommended.
Yeah, and so the other thing to think about too is, like, if you've got 500 trucks and that contractor freight's not there, and I've got a choice. Either I take and run these trucks into this, flood the market with them, or I send all these guys home and what. So we're seeing a lot of that too. So you're getting a lot of trucks being put into the market that weren't normally up here on the spot market, which is what we're normally out there after.
And again, that's just simply a smart business decision.
They're
Because
keeping their trucks running, and their guys are
for a
working.
business. I say any company that can put the truck up on the road and get them running, even if we slowly losing money, we will last longer
Yes,
than
than if they park
somebody
'em.
who's just gonna park.
Yeah.
And if you last longer, you may outlast this, and this
Yeah.
is all you need.
That's the key. If you outlast this, then when the moment comes, when the tide turns, when the lights at the end of the tunnel, man, you're the first one. It's like NASCAR. You're the top of the heat right there. It's time to go, and you're the lead car. When everybody else is 50 cars back, they might run just as fast, and they might work just as hard, but you've already got that.
But
head
that
start.
perspective always changes because it depends on how you're attacking it from that macro point of view, how big that company is, as opposed to, you're asking one guy with one truck and all that. That's where the level of disconnect sometimes happens because somebody's got more to lose than the other person.
And let me tell you right now, we always have the talk about dedicated freight on the table. A lot of people always looking for it. I'm not sure how dedicated freight working out right now. If
That
you're
was-
in the wrong.
That was my
Dedicated
interview guy. I'm not gonna
freight.
lie. Here he was doing dedicated.
We got a comment on that. Well, before I think it came out at the same time, but Jeremy says, and because he shared it, I'll share it. I knew about it this morning, but he said it's slow at Old Dominion, and he only worked one day. We also heard that yesterday. For a guy just basically felt like maybe they were ousting him, but I don't really think they were ousting him. I don't think they just didn't have anything for him. You know what I mean?
man.
So I didn't want to say that, you know what I mean? Because that's the problem. When all your eggs are in that basket with dedicated freight and your whole operations team is only capable of handling dedicated freight. So basically they're nothing but a load pusher of moving loads around. And now you're asking them to get out there and get aggressive and grab and negotiate freight and run you around and load plan like I don't know how to find backhauls, man. Deer in headlights. So I think this is, even though the market may be tight and we don't know when it's gonna turn, I think the best thing to do is keep the wheels moving. Be there when it does turn. Have your finger on the pulse of the market to know where to be at, when to be there, the best that you can. And whatever's the best that day, guys. This is to anybody. This is to the dispatchers. This is to the drivers. Whatever the best is that day. I don't care about yesterday, 2 weeks ago. Whatever the best is that day, then that's the best. And you can hold your head up high if you're running for 97 cents a mile or if you're running for $1.97 a mile. You got the best that was day. We, again, posted every single load that we've had this week in these comments. These are this week's rates. This is not last week's. This is this week up until this report was ran in 15 minutes before we did the show. So these are the rates from right now. And you can see them. We're not hiding them. We're not. Some of them are really good. Some of them are really good. And why do I say it like that? Because that was the best that was in that market at the time, and that driver's running for the highest rate that we could get out of that area. So again, you can kind of see it.
And by the way, for the people who are going to watch this later on the Facebook, in order to see those rates, go to YouTube. Go to YouTube and click on the View Live Chat. And that's where you're gonna see those rates.
Yeah. So as you can see, here's a guy saying at his company he worked one day, huge company.
And by the way, Jeremy is a veteran at that company.
Yes,
he
absolutely.
is not a newbie.
No.
Yeah, no.
So
yeah.
I would expect he probably gets like better treatment than your average driver who just started there a year ago.
Yeah. No, he's a good guy with a good head on his shoulders. He's just trying to make it out there, as all of us are. So. Again, Mr. Jeremy, hope that tide turns for you too at that place, sir. You kind of touched on this a little bit. We kind of covered all that. So next in line.
I think we already passed the other one too, but.
Oh, did we?
I don't know.
Oh.
And what do you have? What do you have on that?
This one here?
Yeah.
We're kind of touching base on it now. We're just the plan is in place to continue business as we say, business as usual. Obviously, it's not usual business, but it's business as usual. So we will stay focused. We are here. We are in house. I hate to knock it and mess with people, but look, I'm not out here working in my PJs at home, okay? I didn't come in just for this. Mike didn't call me and say, hey, I need you to come in for the Super Trucker podcast at 2 today. We're here. We are here. We're in the back. We're in the front. Everybody's here. And we are, because you guys are out there. And as long as we can be here, we're going to be here doing what we're supposed to do because you're out there doing what you're doing. And we appreciate that. And again, stay focused, stay hungry, stay positive. Careful with just, I know it's getting stressful, but let's talk about it. Let's get it figured out. Let's move forward. And I believe together and only will we make it through.
And also, let me add to this, on the grand reopening thing, what the future holds for all of us. Anybody who's going to tell you, except us, obviously, anybody who's going to tell you that somebody knows what's going to happen in the near future, how this all going to end. In my personal opinion, we are full of crap. Last week, I attended a webinar with ATA, American Truckers Association, and it's American Truckers Association. I guess that's the biggest thing representing trucking in the country, and I was left with an opinion that we don't know jack shit. We were only talking numbers, pulling some numbers from one pile, putting them into another pile, just mumbling and talking some nonsense and no answers, no good information or anything like that. So I actually recorded that webinar, but because we can't really post it. I have it on the YouTube channel. If you guys want to watch it, I'll make it public for an hour or hour and a half after this podcast is over, and then I'll make it private again because I'm not sure if I have right to post it. Just don't flag it, please. And watch it. It's just like bunch of nonsense. Nothing is for sure, and just we should do a live call. Lots of mumbling.
Yeah. So yeah, somebody said I can't say. Misfit did. He was with us last week. We did check out your channel, brother. Nice channel. We subscribed. So I can't say I support the ATA. Scott says that Ralph told him I was working from home. Man, if you haven't learned not to believe nothing that Ralph says yet, so I don't know what to tell you. I was making jerky and buying toilet paper. Hey, I did see toilet paper today. I had to go to Walmart on my lunch break and get something, and I saw toilet paper.
Oh, but toilet paper is there.
You're
just limited to I think 2 rolls.
Yeah, there wasn't. Well, again, it was very limited what they had, so it was stay hungry like Mike.
We did have somebody comment by Tommy. Yeah, it's way over there. I didn't get the last name, but
yeah, Tommy Whitmore's. Awesome.
So we'll look out for that. Contact
Thanks,
information. We're willing to share anything we can to make help anybody out.
Yeah, so and if anybody has questions, feel free to give Christian a call, 813-616-6322.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah, 813-616-6322. You can call Christian. You can talk to him. He's always available. He's usually his favorite time to take phone calls is right around 1 a.m. Yeah. So if you'll call then,
he's gonna be more than happy to hold your hand.
Yes, that is usually the best time. That's like his witching hour. He meditates then or something like that. I'm not sure. So
it's the golden hour, Mike.
The golden hour.
Yeah.
There is meat at Publix. Thanks.
Mike's like, I know.
I don't know why. Why are you telling me this? I'm not sure. Charlene, stay hungry like Mike. You're saying there's meat at Publix. I'm not sure. You guys think mega carriers will eat up all the freight and leave the small carriers with nothing?
I don't think so.
Nah, no.
I think mega carriers are actually, in a situation like this, somewhat weaker than us because we are way more adaptive, way quicker. And it just makes it a lot
We can
easier.
get much more dynamic. Whereas, again, I'm saying you got to think of those mega carriers are those ones that are like they're set in their ways with their people, and now this is a dramatic change for them. Where we're already adapted to this. And this is nothing different. We're running the spot
we'll
market
this forever,
always.
Yeah,
so
and
it's just a matter of placing the people in the right places and
not
doing
just
the best
that,
for
the integration of just a new system into a mega company. It's not a one-day thing. I mean, it's
and for us. You just make a phone call. Hey, you got money? All right, let's do this.
Yeah, so And just remember, those mega carriers got to go back to what they were doing as well, which is it's
yeah, and that's the whole thing. That's what I'm saying. For the guy that can stay vigilant and make it through, when those people pull back out of the market, the freight's there. It's just they're running it as cheap as possible. They're undercutting you right now so that they can keep those company trucks moving. Once that changes, once that switch is flipped a little bit and production begins and manufacturing begins a little bit, they're going right back to their normal contracted nonsense that they're dealing with. And then you said we can't say bad words?
No,
oh yeah,
it's not made for kids.
You asshole brokers out there who have been shoving it down our throat.
Got it, Wade?
There's meat to Publix. So I've even got an apron that says
I love Wade.
No, I got it for my birthday. It's a cooking apron that says "What's my meats in your mouth you'll want to swallow."
Yeah, but listen, I don't know about that, but look, but
he's gonna wear it next time.
But for all that to happen, you have to be in business when that happens. So just stay busy, make sure you making money, whatever money it is, or at least make sure you're not using your safety net to push through.
See, they agree. They said that time is to break it off, and they left it, so we'll go with that. But yeah, now a couple comments come through. Says, thank you. I just want to be a part of your team and soak up everything you guys are offering. Thanks so much, Tommy, for the support. Scott says, hey, Tommy, just trust the process. Misfit says, I'm not worried about the mega carriers yet. It's Amazon I'm kind of worried about because they are up to something in the works.
I agree because, look, all those small moms and pops shops, all those small businesses, when you drive down the road here in Mulberry, what do you see? You don't see no Amazon. No. Yeah, you see Walmart there, but in general, you see moms and pops shop, moms and pops restaurant, this little business, that little business, this little gas station, that little gas station, this little service, that little service. Those are the people who struggle right now the most. And Amazon, we're not shut down. We are essential. So now if we're going to suck up all this business, it's just going to be so much more difficult for those companies to reopen once this is over.
And not just to reopen, but also what's going on has forced people out of their comfort zone, and possibly people who never shopped Amazon now see the value in their eyes of it. So our new norm will be different. You know what I mean? I really think that those kind of things will impact on whether somebody's going to reopen or not.
And I agree. And this is probably the biggest challenge that we may face.
Go ahead. What are you laughing at?
Because you guys don't see the comments.
There,
you guys don't see the comments, and they're just eating it up, man. Like, I guess I said, instead of saying vigilant, I said vigilant, and now they're eating me up, saying I'm making up words, and it's no.
Yeah,
and
why are you making up words?
Because, man, I'm just passionate, and I just go from the hip, man. So Misfit says it's cool to see the autonomous trucking companies closing means I'll keep my job a little longer. Yeah, we actually have one of those here in Polk County where they have a autonomous driving track where they're trying to build all that kind of stuff, and I don't know. Every time I drive by there, I never see anything going on.
They closed that. That was in the Starsky Robotics.
And a lot of times we are only as good as the grants go.
Yeah, well, that's what
we just open up for a grant and they shut it down once it's over.
Apparently, there's a Freon leak in the Voyager bunker. That's what's causing the issue.
Okay.
Or maybe I just screwed up a word. I don't have an accent cancellation microphone like Mike does, so it corrects everything he says. See, vigilant. See, I don't know. What's up? Who would have thought?
Who's making that comment? Ralph?
Man, they're all,
like out of all people, Ralph?
It's Scott and Charlene. Like, what are they up to? No good. Mm-hmm. Oh god, now they're talking. Anyway, so no, that's true. Hopefully, you can't replace a guy behind the wheel. I mean, that's crazy. So, I mean, we need you guys. We appreciate you guys. I enjoy this. It's fun to get together. Maybe we take some live calls sometimes.
And it's cool. Actually way more fun when we get all those comments and
when you guys interact. Yeah, because otherwise I'm stuck with these.
One, read it.
Oh, I just got one.
As a matter of fact, we stuck with you.
I know. I'm just with these guys all day long, and like this is the first time I get to see other people, from this bunker. I constantly stutter and make up words. Life's not easy. Yeah. See, thanks, my brother. They don't understand. They're not in front of this camera, sweating with all these lights and being told how fat they are. I mean, you tell me one person you know that can get up here and get in the
be
middle,
fat.
and be in the middle of two of the most handsome men on the face of the earth. You know what I mean?
6 feet, man. 6 feet.
That's not my opinion. That's not my opinion. And then be told like, oh, you're just. It's just these shirts. I'm trying to tell y'all. Look, see, it's just
6 feet. I could still reach it.
just touch the tips.
Hey. It's a family show, man. What are you
Is
doing?
it? I don't know. He drops the F-bomb on it. He pretty much just threw it out there as nothing now. So,
Man, have you seen cartoons lately, bro? Like, that's...
Yeah. Have you?
Have you?
I have 4 kids. Of course, I've seen cartoons lately. Like,
So, I mean, what kind of cartoons you watching?
the SpongeBob and stuff. Whatever
Here
you
we
want.
go.
Peppa
The Family
Guy. King of the Hill or something.
Yeah.
Huh, damn it, Bobby. I sell propane and propane accessories. I'm going to do the whole show like this. But, Dad. So, cool, guys. We hope you guys are, enjoying it. If you have any suggestions, please make sure you leave them. Again, if you have any pointers as far as things we could talk about for you, discuss with you, we're always down with that. We love it when you ask questions and you communicate with us. It's always fun. Says last one here says, not gonna lie, I would like to drive the Tesla truck. Yeah, that thing looks tight, man. No doubt. So, I mean, it is what it is. Elon Musk can do what he's gonna do, and we can just keep doing what we're gonna do.
We all think he's crazy now.
Yeah, man. We might need some drivers on the moon or something. Who knows? Driving freight with a moon truck. So,
Whatever it takes.
all right. Anything else?
No, by the way, guys, we got a Facebook channel, Super Trucker Facebook page.
Yeah.
Super Trucker Podcast. We also have a group for real Super Truckers. That's also called Super Trucker Podcast Group. So join us there, start a conversation, and bring your friends there. Too.
Yeah. See, Misfit watches South Park. That's a cartoon.
So
Yeah. So see.
Oh, I've seen it.
yeah. I've seen South Park once or twice.
Once or twice.
Yeah, I've seen it.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. You got something?
No.
I mean,
The one episode I saw was so weird, man. It was like this gay dog ran into the woods or something.
Now I'm extremely curious of where this one goes. Like what?
I don't know. I
You
just
just
changed
like-
the channel. That was South Park.
A gay dog runs into the woods.
we got this
His dog-
transgender wrestler coming into the town
His-
and beating up all the chicks.
His dog ran away and he found him in the woods and he was like Gaylandia or something
Man,
like that.
I'm sorry, but as soon as he said transgender wrestler, all I could think of is Ralph.
Hey man, let's sign off before we get in trouble here, man.
Actually, it looks kind of like that, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Give him some makeup and some eyeliner, and he's like, "Hi, everybody. My name's Ralph. Thanks for tuning into the Super Trucker Podcast. As always, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. We appreciate you guys, and hope you have a wonderful day. All right, man.
All right, Super Truckers.